This is another wonderful night when I get to say, please join me in welcoming to the Max Inc. radio studio a special guest. This time we have joining us Jackson Taylor. Hey, Jackson. Yay. Hey, happy to have you here. Now, I got to mention this right off the bat. Jackson is going to be the featured artist at a show sponsored by our Civic Media Network sister station. It's WisCountry 105.5 FM in Wisconsin Rapids. And that show is happening on Saturday, December 2nd at Bee's Tap House in Rapids. Oh my gosh, Jackson, that is exciting for everybody to have some wonderful music to go and listen to. How are you doing? Are you excited for this show? And you've got a pretty booked up schedule coming up, really. It looks really good.
I do. I've been working on it pretty diligently for the last 6 months or year, I should say.
Yeah.
But yeah, things are going pretty good. One quick thing. You said Saturday, December 2nd. It's Friday.
It's Friday, December 2nd.
Yeah, no, I don't know if they had it messed up in the ad or something.
They did. Oh no, it is, isn't it? Okay.
I corrected it, so sorry.
I didn't hear the ad corrected. So you know what? We're gonna start over. Do you mind?
That's fine. Yeah, I know. Okay, if we're gonna start over, I'm just gonna say I told Steph, I think it was Steph, I was like, oh boy, now the dog's barking anyway. So I told Steph it was Friday, and she's like, because she had Saturday, and I read it, and I'm like, oh, sounds good. And then I read it again, and I'm like, wait, it's Friday, not Saturday. So,
yeah, and that is December 2nd, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's so funny. Yeah, we had the right date, but the wrong day. And so often people will go with what day it is. So
okay, so the one dog's jumping on top of the other dog to try to play. So I could put him up. Just 1 second. I'll put him upstairs. I'll be back in like less than a minute.
Okay. Aww.
Is that good?
Yeah. Whatever you think is
sorry.
Good. Yeah.
He doesn't want to listen at all. He's got. I thought if I went to the dog park, yeah, follow her upstairs. Come on. Doodle, come on.
Time for treats.
Oh. Now, the other dog wants to go outside, but and she's gonna bark at the door when she wants to come in. No, we're gonna. Doodle, want a treat? Treat. I'm gonna put you. Treat. Come on. Come on. Oh. All right. I just hope he doesn't sit upstairs and like look downstairs and growl.
Oh, if you hear something, we'll just have to mention it. Whatever. This is real.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, we can start over now.
Okay, I'm gonna start over. Here's my countdown for you.
All right.
3, 2, 1. Okay, everybody, now please put your hands together and welcoming to the Max Inc. radio show. We are very happy to have Jackson Taylor joining us. Yay! Hey, Jackson, how are you?
Great. How are you doing today?
I'm good. Thanks for asking. We want to let everybody know right off the bat, Jackson is going to be the featured artist at a show sponsored by our Civic Media Network sister station. It's WisCountry 105.5 FM in Wisconsin Rapids. Now, the show is coming up Friday, December 2nd. It's at Bee's Tap House in Rapids. All right. So let me ask you, Jackson, with all of that sort of out of the way and something for people in the area to look forward to, if someone doesn't know Jackson Taylor, How would you best describe your music and kind of that idea of what you are all about right now?
That's a good question. I guess like my music is very I do like you could call it modern country, I guess, in a way. I would not call it pop country, I guess, like what some people, like to call today's radio country, I guess. I don't
Yeah,
know,
you're
but
right.
I would say it's has like the vibe from like the early to mid 2000s. So like some artists, like the production of at least like the last song I released, I would say like the production could be compared to something like Jason Michael Carroll or like Steve Azar or some people like that from the early mid 2000s. Um, Me as an artist, I guess I like to write songs, and I like to write songs about life and things as they come to me throughout life. And I would say that I'm authentic to myself as an artist. I don't try to be somebody else. I just try to be me. So
Do you always have a notebook with you, or do you always have a pen and something that, like, if you need to write down some song lyrics quick, you have a way to do that?
I usually just like a note app in my phone or something, or like Google
Got it.
Docs or something like that nowadays. I used
Yeah.
to always have like a notebook with me, like when I was younger, but now I guess with technology, I write most of my songs on like Google Docs or something like that. But yeah,
Yeah.
like yesterday, I just had a song idea come to me, and I wanted to write it, but I was like on the way to an appointment or something, and it came to me, and I'm like, oh, that'd be a good song, and I like jotted it down in my phone real quick, but I haven't got to it yet. I'll maybe get to it in a few weeks, but
I'm always fascinated by the process. So for you, is it always the words and then the music, or not necessarily?
typically it's usually the lyric. For me, it's usually the lyrics come first, and a
Okay.
lot of times I'll have like a melody in mind for those lyrics, or I'll have like, you have like a line come to you and you'll kind of know how you want it to go, and then it's just trying to find something on the guitar that you can make work with that. Or sometimes though I'll be sitting around and I'll be playing guitar, playing some chords, playing some progressions, and something will kind of be like, ooh, that'd be a cool melody, or maybe some words will come to that as you're just messing around at home playing guitar and practicing at home. But
Yeah. Well, now I have to ask you, how long have you played guitar or had this interest in music?
like about probably between like 8 and 10 years. So I'm 26 now, so I think I picked up my first guitar when I was 15, like
Oh,
almost
wow.
16.
Yeah.
um I wouldn't say, I just kind of learned guitar just good enough to where I could play some chords and sing. So I'm not like a amazing guitar player. I just play good enough so I can sing pretty
Yeah,
much.
but you
So
you do solo shows too. So I
I
would say
do,
you
yeah.
must be good enough to to do
I guess,
those.
but yeah. So I'm I can play rhythm guitar pretty good, I guess, but then like
Yeah.
anything else kind of just enough so I can sing and do what I want to do and write songs. So
Nice, nice. I want to ask you about a song that we're going to play after this interview. It's the Painting Pictures. And I know that's a pretty popular song of yours right now. What is it about, or what can you tell us about this particular song?
so I wrote that song in 2020, and I wrote the first like three lines, I believe, to it the week after I met my wife. And
Oh,
then I wrote the rest of it throughout the first 3 months of our relationship, and I finished it like 3 or 4 months after, pretty much after we met. And she really liked the song, and I played it at a lot of my shows, and people seemed to like it and like the story behind it as well. And so I decided to go get it recorded earlier this year over in Minnesota with my producer Greg Huberty, and then released it in June of this year.
great. Well, I can't wait to play it for everybody. And thanks for telling us a little bit about it so people will have an idea. It's so interesting, though. Music means so many things to different people. And I think that's why we all love it so much. You know what it means to you and how you wrote this song. But, we'll listen to it. Other people will listen to it and they'll get something maybe totally different, which is why music really is so cool, isn't it?
Right, right. I mean, like that song I wrote, like it's kind of just about like everything's true with it pretty much. Like every
Yeah.
lyric has like a date or something, like a date we had attached to it, like a meaning behind each line. And the chorus is mainly just about building a future together with somebody and
Oh.
growing old together. So
And now she's your wife. So congratulations.
yeah, thank you.
So let me ask you, as a musician, I understand you are full time now as a musician. You're doing this thing.
Yep, yep.
what are your hopes? What made you decide I am going to do this? I'm going full out and I'm going to make it happen.
Yeah, I guess like I've always wanted to do it, but I never was like good enough to do it. I always feel like I never wasn't confident enough to go do it. Um, and I think just so like in 2020, I was doing I quit my normal full-time job as a I did auto collision, auto like restoration type stuff.
Yeah.
And I quit that to do fitness coaching. So I started my own business, fitness coaching, personal training. And it went pretty good. Like I had almost 30 clients and
Oh,
things were going
wow.
good. But I was
Yeah.
still kind of doing some of my music a little bit here and there, like maybe 4 or 5 shows a month. And then it came to a point, I think last summer, where I had like 10 or 12 shows in August booked. And I'm like, well, it's kind of like I like doing the coaching, I like doing the music, but then when I was coaching, I felt like I really wanted to be writing songs and working on music. So then I kind of kept going back and forth of what I wanted to do. But then when I had those 12 shows booked, I was like, well, I could probably do this full time. So I kind of just really dove into like contacting a ton of venues and working on things and getting better and things like that. So
Oh,
then I kind of just dove into doing it full time there. And I think just quitting my job and knowing I don't want to go back to that gave me the confidence to just do it.
that's awesome. And honestly, in a little time that you chose to do this, your schedule is actually kind of crazy. How do we find you?
It
How do we
is.
keep up with you? I noted too that you've got shows just in the next couple of weeks, Green Bay, Wausau, Lake Mills. So you're everywhere, which is great.
Yeah, I cover the state pretty good, I would say. And I think I
Yeah.
mean, I what was the original question? I kind of lost track
How do
there.
we
It
keep
was
up with you when we want to come and see you at a
oh,
show?
yeah, just my website would be the main thing. So just
Yeah.
jacksontaylormusic.com.
Okay.
Otherwise, I'm on Instagram, Jackson Taylor Music. I do have a Facebook page, but I feel weird saying this because I've been saying this like all the time at all my gigs. But Facebook decided to unpublish it, so nobody can see it but me. So I'm working on getting that back. It says it's under review right now, but
Good for you.
once it's available, you can find me on Facebook. But
Got it.
the main place is just the website, jacksontaylormusic.com.
Okay.
So
Yeah. And I've looked at
everything
your
like
website.
everything up to date to today that I booked is on there.
It
So
is. It is. You know what I also noticed in looking at your website and some of your social media, almost every photo of you, it's you, a guitar, and almost always a car.
yep, almost. Yep,
Yeah,
I
very
got a
cool
couple
cars
vehicles.
too. What's up with your love of cars?
Well, that's kind of where everything that was my first passion, I guess, growing up. Like when I
Yeah.
was a little kid, I wanted to work on cars. I wanted to do auto body restoration, things like that. And I did that. I mean, I did that for
Yes.
like 7, 8 years, I think. I mean, I started when I was like 15 and I did that until I was like 24, 25. So,
Nice.
but
And now you've
yeah,
done
there's
it. You
always a
can
car.
cross it off your list and move on to being the full-time musician you are.
Right. Yeah. And I mean, the 71 Monte Carlo there, and that's in a lot of my pictures and like on my website. I had that since I was 15. So
Oh, wow.
that
Okay,
was actually my
everybody,
first car.
they need to go to your website to see those photos. You look awesome. That car is pretty hot though, too. So, oh my gosh. Is there anything else about you that people don't know? I mean, I think we've already learned some really interesting things in just this little bit of a talk, but anything strange that has happened to you on the road, anything funny that people may not know about you?
Well, not really. Not that I can think of. I mean, I don't know. I'm pretty transparent with like if you like follow me on like social media, like I talk about life and like what's going on usually quite a bit. Um,
Great.
but yeah, nothing too crazy has happened yet. I mean, just all the driving though, like all the places I go every week, I get to deal with people's traffic, the way they drive.
Oh,
So
yeah.
that's about it. There's
That's
always
got to be
interesting
very
things that,
interesting. Oh,
yeah.
man. Well,
Last week
we,
in that snowstorm, there was a semi in the
oh,
middle of a cornfield last week. So I watched it go into the cornfield in the
ah,
afternoon too.
oh dear. And you're thinking,
But
please don't let that happen to me.
right. Yeah, you never know. I mean, the roads weren't that bad, but I don't know.
Yeah.
With this, just you always see stuff like that.
Well, and I think that's part of our conversation too. People forget that you just don't appear at a gig. you actually have to get there by car, and that can be trepidatious, but we're so grateful to you for doing what you are doing, because music is so important to so many people.
Right. Yeah. I mean, like a lot of people I know look at it like, oh, you just come to here, this bar, wherever the venue is. And they're like, you just play for 3 hours and you're done. That's awesome. Like, that's such an awesome job. I'm like, a lot of people don't see the backside of it, like
Yes.
the booking, the travel, expenses, everything like that.
Yeah. Well, we are proud of you and are here to support you, and excited for the show you have coming up at Bee's Tap House in Wisconsin Rapids. Again, that's Friday, December 2nd, and it's sponsored by our sister station in the Civic Media Network. That is Country 105.5 FM. Are you looking forward to that show?
Yes, it's a cool venue. It's an older, like a kind of like a historic building in a way.
Excellent.
And I just really like playing. It's a great sounding room. They got a little stage. They got a lot of different beers that you can choose from. And they also have homemade pizzas. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
Okay, well, we invite everybody out to see you. Oh my goodness. And I hope you have a great crowd. And once more, Jackson, give us your website so people can check out. If they can't make this Rapids date, then they can find another date close to them where they can come and see you perform.
Yeah, it's just jacksontaylormusic.com.
Perfect. Jackson, thank you so much for being here. And now here comes that song that I promised to everybody, Painting Pictures. This is from Jackson Taylor, and we are local music.